Well, hello campers and bushcrafters. I'm Donnie Pavlini, and I want to show you one of my favorite parts of my bushcraft kit. I love to eat, I love to cook, and I love, as the British say, a nice brew. So, today we're going to make one. I want to show you, this is a sterno stove that you put the little can of sterno in here. The problem with sterno is that the heat doesn't get, it's not hot enough. It's just not. I prefer, what I've made here is a little Vienna sausage can spirits burner. Now, alcohol out in the field, it's fine. I mean, it's okay. But I've noticed that I've had it in some plastic bottles, and the heat of the day down here, it gets so hot in Mississippi. For instance, today is 91 degrees for the high, with a heat index of like 100. You know, it's ridiculous. And alcohol a lot of times will evaporate out of nowhere. I mean, it's gone, and so you're left, you know, with less fuel with you when you need it than when you brought it. Now, here is some hand sanitizer. This regular old hand sanitizer, the cheap stuff. It's got a lot of alcohol in it, a ton. And one benefit of using this type of fuel source rather than your 91% isopropyl alcohol. I can't speak for the other ones, like the one that's recommended, denatured alcohol, the wood alcohol. Can't speak for that. I haven't used it. But I do know that with regular isopropyl alcohol, whenever you're burning, it wants to leave a lot of soot. I mean, a ton of soot around whatever pot you're using. This stuff, believe it or not, leaves about 25% of what regular alcohol burns. I mean, it gets, normally it's black. I mean, bottom of your pot. This one's been used quite a bit, but after I use it like with burning wood or alcohol, 91% isopropyl, this thing's just black and corroded. This leaves the bottom of your pot much cleaner, and it's easy to use. Let me show you what we're going to do. This stove, like I said, this is a sterno folding stove that I modified slightly in here, just cutting some of these wires off that were in the way. They came up and did a little thing so that it would accommodate the sterno fuel. Okay? Well, I'm not using that, and I want this stove to be able to be used with other types of fuel. This one right here, believe it or not, works great with charcoal. What I do is I take this little door and swing it back the other way, put this on the ground, put my charcoal in here, light it, and go with it that way. Now, it also uses wood, same way. Put your wood in there, small pieces, get your fire going, let a nice bed of coals build up, and you've got an awesome stove slash grill. Another beautiful thing about this stove's $5 and you got a grill and you got a stove. But I've cut these wires out so that I can take this, flip it down underneath, and I like to put a little tuna can in here because it elevates the this can. Gosh, let me get it right. It elevates this can slightly so that I've got more heat that's coming up underneath my cup. So right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some good old hand sanitizer in here. It doesn't take much, maybe an ounce and a half. Okay? Now, to get it lit, what I'm going to do is I'm going to place it back in here and use fire steel works awesome with this. Perfect. There it is. It's very difficult to see. Gotta wait for it to come up. There, we're starting to see some blue flames coming up now. Come on, like magic. Up. Come on, fire, fire, fire. Alright. Now, I'll take my GI canteen. What I'm doing, by the way, is I'm a coffee fiend. I gotta have it. Gotta have it every day. I get the 4 o'clock drag ass every single day. And this is how I fight the 4 o'clock drag ass. But anyway, got my little cup. Stove's working quite nicely. Now, got that on there. Now, I want to show you this. This military cup is not a genuine GI issued canteen cup. Okay, it's a knockoff, but it is steel. I've used it a ton of times. Still pretty darn good. I guess it came from China. This lid, it's not the Pathfinder School heavy lid or the canteen shop heavy lid. It's just the Rothko lid with a few minor modifications. If you'll look closely right here, I've drilled a line of holes on this side, and I have one hole here. Now what this does, it allows your steam to come up as you're cooking, as well as when you got your lid on, it's going to bring the water to a boil a lot faster. But with those row of holes, if you're cooking pasta, then you have a means of straining the water out. Awesome. Awesome. And cheap. $5. So anyway, we're going to go ahead, let this water come to a boil, and I'm going to make some coffee, and it's going to be yummy. Okay, I'm just showing you this canteen cup and my modified Sterno folding stove in action, a little closer, a little more detail. I know you're probably saying, hey jackass, this is about bushcraft, what the hell are you doing in the house? Well, it's very simple. It's hot as blue blazes outside, and I just wanted to have something to do, a little bored, and I really believe in practice and knowing your kit. You got to know your kit. You got to know what the kit's going to do before you get out into the field and have a lot of unhappy surprises. So anyway, we're going to take a look at this. I'll show you this up close a little bit. Let's see how our water's doing. It's not really doing a damn thing, but it has only been about a minute. So we're going to give this a little more time. And look at that beautiful blue flame. How about that? Cheap as it gets, works like a dream. I'll come back and show you the rest. Another thing I forgot to mention about using the hand sanitizer fuel is it's very safe. Let's say hypothetically that your flame dies down. Of course this one isn't, but let's just say it is. You're almost out. You're cooking something. You don't have to extinguish your stove to keep on going. You can actually refill your fuel while the stove's ignited. If you'll watch and see this, look at that. It's a lot of fuel we'll put in there. And it's very safe and stable. And just put your pot back on. Business as usual. Without interruption of the process of cooking that you're doing at the time. You know, one thing I've heard a lot of comments and complaints of sorts about the Stanley Adventure Series cooker like this. Well, some of them I agree with, some of them I really don't. One good thing about this stove here that I have is that it works quite well with this kind of pot. The grill surface that it has is very accommodating to just about any type of cooking pot you have. Put that back on the boil. It's just about there. We're at about 6 minutes. So not the fastest thing in the world. If you want a 6-minute boil, you're going to have to get your pot a little closer. This is convenient for me. I enjoy it. It's a multi-fuel source stove. So I'm not going to sweat 2 minutes on the boil. Okay. I love this lid. A lot of people want to knock the lid. It's got the little plastic thing. It's going to melt in the fire. Well, if you're that stupid that you can't watch what you're doing and get this out of there, it ought to melt on you. There's nothing wrong with this. Use it. It doesn't melt. Now, another thing, there's my penny stove, spirit stove, Bud Light. And this is another thing that kind of bothers me about the knocking of the Stanley cook thing. Everybody wants to shit all over these cups. These cups, I love them. I think it's one of the best things about the kit. If I cook a meal, I've got a cup to put hot food in to eat out of, and then I've got something I can drink out of that's insulated. I'm not going to burn myself. It's quite comfortable. So that's just something that food for thought. I'm going to check this water now, and we definitely have a slow boil. Slow boil's fine for what I'm going to do. That's plenty hot. Plenty hot. And onward and upward. The only way to beat the 4 o'clock drag ass is with some good old American packaged, imported from Colombia, I guess, Folgers instant coffee. I like regular coffee, but right now, instant's okay. Cream. A lot of people want to say, oh man, I'll drink my coffee black. I don't want to put all that shit in there. I don't want cream. I don't need it. I'll drink my coffee black. Well, you're just not man enough to be able to handle everything. I can handle it all. The cream, the sugar, bring it. I'm ready. And here we go. And we got a hell of a boil now. Now check this out with the stove. This is cool. It's done. Da-da-da-da. Moment of truth, baby. Moment of truth. Look at the steam coming off of that. Check that out. Check that out. This is quite lovely. Hells yeah. Hell yeah. This stuff's hot, bud. And guess what? It's gonna stay hot because it's in a good old made in the USA Stanley thermal cup that comes with the Stanley Adventure Series cook set. Good product. Stop knocking it. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Holy shit, that's hot. I know I did, and I know I'm going to enjoy this coffee. Love this stove. Guys, think about it. Folds up very compactly. I keep mine in a Ziploc bag. Just slide it in. Doesn't occupy very much space at all in my pack. It's wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. For one man, this is the thing. It's a cook top. It's also a grill, and a nice grill, I might add. Take that door, flip it back the other way, put it on the ground. You want to put a little aluminum foil underneath it. Put your charcoal if you want. Works great with that. Or you can burn wood. Let the fire die down. Get some good coals. Put a little bit more in there. You can grill on it. It's awesome. Works great. You grill steak, chops, chicken, sausage, whatever turns you on. I'd like to thank you guys for tuning in. Hopefully next time you see me, it'll be in the woods where I need to be. Cooped up in here, cabin fever, but you know, cabin fever is not just a winter thing. It's a summer thing. It's just too freaking hot to be out there. 91 degrees. You gonna try to sleep? I don't think so. But thank you anyway. Take care.